You're watching DCTV. Now here's your host, the voice, Dave Canning. It's you, it's me, it's DCTV. It's you, it's me, it's DCTV. Let's start the show.
Hey, yo, it is you, it is me, it is NRD and T, and today on the Wrestling Nerd broadcast, it is going to be a bit of a somber episode, not as cheery as we typically are, but we're going to do our best because today on the Wrestling Nerd broadcast, we are not going to mourn, we're not going to be sad, but we're going to celebrate the life and career of Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, who passed away last Monday, depending on when you're watching this, the 14th of March. But yeah, this one really does sting a bit, in our Facebook chats. It was a long Monday because there was word that Scott had a heart attack and then was put on life support. And then Kevin Nash, his dear longtime friend, released a statement stating that once Scott's family was in order or whatnot, maybe they were going to take him off life support. And then miraculously, for a couple hours, he was still with us, and then unfortunately passed on to the other side. But yeah, it was a very confusing Monday because at times we saw a lot of RIP posts and whatnot, but he was still there. And Sean Waltman had mentioned on Twitter that he was heartbroken that he was seeing so many people say it when Scott's heart was still pumping, when he was still beating. But then obviously we all tuned into Raw, most of us did at least, and then saw the graphic in memory of, and that's when I believe we all found out together that Scott Hall had indeed passed away at the age of 63. So I guess Ryan, we'll start with you because we know he's one of your top three. And literally, like, as soon as I found out this news, I thought, oh no, I hope Ryan is okay, because I figured you would be heartbroken most about this. So Ryan, what do you want to say about the bad guy?
Yeah, no, I made you guys wait about 20 minutes so I could decorate. I like to decorate and just show my love. This isn't even everything. I guess quick thank you. Like we got the Vinny design that we all love. That's sweet. Let's see, I'm looking here. DDJ traded me this Funko Pop. Jared picked this up in the correct size. This one's a small one I can't wear anymore. So, just cool. The wrestling community, we all, I guess if you watched him or if you met him, he touched a lot of lives and impacted us. So like I said, we all cared a lot that day, especially with the suddenness of it. To me, is crazy. Hip surgery or hip replacement, and then something like that happens. It just shows you how precious life is. And it's cool that we cared for him. Our little group and all our expanding wrestling groups, family, hobbies, we all care for each other. So it's good things.
Yeah. Tom, what about you? What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
Yeah, like these things, I usually can be like, all right, like that's sad, and kind of move on. I don't think I realized how much of a Scott Hall fan I was. I was like, oh, this is bad. When you find out the dude's on life support, no one cut a better promo. Like the old Scott Hall promos were everything. And I've watched those for years. If I just peek behind the curtain, I voice Harold and Gerald. Gasp. But thinking of how Gerald's bad guy meanness is going to come into play, when we first started with Gerald, he was just a jerk, and it was a bit much. Still is a jerk. But upon watching recent promos with MJF, and with going back to watching the old Scott Hall Razor Ramon promos where he's at the cafe table and the waiter goes to give him a check and he's like, Chico, you know who I am, and it's holy shit, this is it. This is how you're a bad guy. You're pompous, and you're not mean. You're just pompous. You're confident, and, you know, realizing like, wow, like I was at WrestleMania 10. I was there. I was young. I was like 6 or so. So I don't remember too much vividly, but like my father took me to WrestleMania 10 and my brother, and we watched that match. And I'd hate to be like, that propelled me into being a wrestling fan, but like, yeah, it might as well have, you know. Then you watch the promos, you watch the matches, you watch that little, like, I can't do it. And I've always wanted to know how to do like shaky walk thing. And that's just, it's brilliant. And it's just sad. Like, the dude fought so hard to better his life and succeeded, and then relapsed, and then succeeded. And I'd really say he started looking like better and better and better and better. And, you know, it sucks that a routine surgery got infected and the blood clots, and, you know, guys, get checked out, go to a doctor. Like, it sucks, it's expensive, but, you know, blood clots are real and they'll hurt you.
Yep.
So it sucks.
Nick, how about you? What are your thoughts on Scott Hall, Razor Ramon?
I mean, Ryan and Tom already said it so nice, and you too, Dave, I guess. But to add on a little bit, like Tom said, that WrestleMania 10 was the very first pay-per-view. My dad's gonna get so mad that I said this because he thinks but we had got an illegal black box that you could get the free pay-per-views.
This is the guy everyone wants as their king, huh? Stealing.
WrestleMania 10 was the very first pay-per-view I ever watched live in the whole time. I mean, I watched wrestling before that. I was a wrestling fan, but I also was a Power Rangers fan, a Ninja Turtle fan, all the X-Men, all the above, right? After WrestleMania 10, it was nothing but wrestling after that. All of it, toys, everything, nothing. Wrestling is all that mattered up till like pretty much still today and stuff. But so in that match, the ladder match was like one of the things that really, like, I was like, what is this? What are we watching? I mean, it really changed the way I looked at wrestling and stuff. And I mean, it's just sad, like Tom said, it's just sad that he worked so hard to recover and get healthy and stuff, and then something like this happened and stuff. But I mean, Scott Hall his story more than anything should be a redemption story at the end. The story of, I mean, because honestly, he would have probably, died a long time ago if he didn't get sober.
He probably should have died a long time
so
ago.
He probably added a lot of time to his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It kind of makes you think though, like with like Diamond Dallas Page put so much, like, man, he's one of the guys that I first thought of was like DDP. Basically, Scott Hall lived with him to get him sober, to get him clean, to get him back to like be able to walk on his own.
Isn't there like a documentary? Did y'all see it? It was like with Jake the Snake, but I think Scott Hall was in it a lot too.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's very. I don't know. I don't want to say it's convenient or ironic or it's or fate or whatnot, but I saw one of my friends posted just an inspirational thing. It's like in 6 months from now, you can either have 6 months of progress or 6 months of excuses. Make your choice. And so I saw that and I got inspired and I started doing my DDPY again. And like, and one of the reasons I got DDPY as a Christmas gift a few years ago. Like one of the reasons I wanted to get is I saw what it did for Jake Roberts. I saw what it did for Scott Hall and how it like, obviously I'm not in a spot like they were, how they were at death's door multiple times, but they both, and Scott especially, just it spoke to me like how Scott got knocked down time after time, and it's hard to watch somebody like literally we saw it on wrestling television. We saw him battling his demons week in and week out, and then that Hall of Fame speech, he comes out, and it's like this dude had life beat the shit out of him, and he managed to get back up and come back every time, kick out at 2.5, and up until a few days ago seemed to have finally turned the corner. I remember one of the first pay-per-view I ever watched was SummerSlam 92. We paid for it, unlike Nick. Then the second pay-per-view I ever watched was Royal Rumble 1993. in which Ryan's dream match occurs, and it is Razor Ramon versus Bret Hart for the WWF Championship. And I remember the entire time. I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say Scott Hall is probably like 6'6", 6'7", 8" in that range. And I just remember and Bret Hart's probably 6'1", maybe. So there's obviously a height advantage for Scott Hall. And I remember the entire time it's Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon on commentary. And Bobby Heenan just the whole time was like, there's no way you can get him in the sharpshooter. His legs are too big, Gorilla. His legs are too long. I'm like, yes. What the hell does that have to do with anything? It hurts your back. It's not, everyone can twist their legs. And I would just sit there, just crossing my legs, like, it's pretty easy. And then, of course, my sister's like, oh, let me show you how hard it is. And they're like, ah. And that's how we started to do wrestling moves in the Canning household, everyone. But a stupid story, an even stupider story, that will embarrass not only myself, but Margaret and Kathleen as well. But so obviously, Ryan, can you hold up the chain that you're wearing right now? So
not an original.
That's okay.
That's
I'm
24 karat gold. Don't lie.
That's real. That's real. But so he had those razors on his trunks. And so me being what was I, 4 or 5 in that time range? And then so keep in mind, I'm 4 or 5. My sisters have to be 11 or 12 or 8, 9. We all thought collectively, and I agreed with them because I was such an ignorant 4 or 5-year-old, that they were not razors on his trunks, but they were in fact ticket stubs. Don't know why. Granted, we're little kids. We don't know what a freaking flat razor looks like. We just thought they were tickets.
I thought it was cheese.
We literally had no idea. And it was one of those, like, until we got much older, like, stop, it's a razor on his trunks. And that is when me and my sisters needed to go back to school. So yeah.
Have you guys rewatched any of his old matches or anything?
I rewatched Royal Rumble 1993 the other day.
His matches hold up, man.
Yep.
Like, before we were recording, Nick, you were saying like some of those old matches were just like a lot of nothing. And I'd say Razor Ramon's old matches really hold the test of time of storytelling, like athleticism, and it's crazy, like the talent that this dude had, and to watch it fall apart. Like I 2 weeks ago, it popped up on like Facebook. You get those random ads, and it was like one of Scott Hall, can't even walk to the ring at this wrestling event. And he literally could not physically make it to the ring on his own. And I'm like, freaking hell, man, this sucks. That's so sad. Like, look how far this dude's come. He's doing great. Like, I don't think about this guy all the time because he's not in front of me. And you know what? 2 weeks later, he's on his deathbed. It's like, oh, man. Like, I don't know. I'm shook on it. And I'm normally not shook. Yeah, no, like, I personally for me, like, usually a celebrity passes away, and I'd say the last celebrity death that like kind of hit me was Kobe Bryant. Obviously I'm a Nets fan, but like I watched all of Kobe's career, and I like to think that, I mean, obviously I didn't get to watch Scott's AWA stuff when he was with Kurt Hennig and whatnot, but like I vividly remember growing up as a child watching Scott Hall, watching Razor Ramon, because like back in the day when you ordered a pay-per-view, you taped that thing and you watched the hell out of that tape, which is why I don't think I thought of Razor Ramon as like, there's no way this guy's ever going to be champion, because I watched him lose to Bret Hart 50 million times at the Royal Rumble. So it was like kind of embedded in my head, like, oh, he's always losing. But it definitely hits. It's definitely sad. But he's a 2-time Hall of Famer, one of the most deserving people to be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, turned his life around. He is not to be thought of as a tragedy, but as a triumph. I really think so. I know good to see that he did make it to the Hall of Fame, like before he passed. Because like Vader is one that, like, Vader is in this year's class, and like Vader should have been in it while he was alive.
And it sucked with that because he was lobbying that he wanted to be in the Hall of Fame, like, and especially because like I think prior to last year, like his health had been in question. So, but, and I really just, I kind of hope that this can help open the eyes of some people in WWE to just like, and I don't mean this begrudgingly towards WWE. I understand that, you know, relationships have their ups and downs and peaks and valleys, but like, if any, like, I remember when the Ultimate Warrior passed away, there was that picture of Warrior and Vince hugging, like grasping each other. And like, if we've learned anything today, it's don't hold a grudge, you know? And I'm like, I'm so thankful that Ultimate Warrior got his due before he went. Bruno Sammartino, another one, got his due before he went. I mean, obviously he lived beyond his induction, but you know, it's like, there's so many, you know, you look at the British Bulldog, the Big Boss Man. I'm trying to think of who else are like notable Hall of Famers.
Is Earthquake in there? I don't know. John Tenta?
He should. No, they're not.
Yeah.
The natural disasters should be in the Hall of Fame. I think. Like, I'm not going to go into specifics on like who should or should not be in the Hall of Fame. Owen should be in the Hall of Fame. Owen Carpenter should be in the Hall of Fame. Owen Hart should be in the Hall of Fame, but obviously that's a whole nother debate. That's a whole nother WWE thing, because that's not even WWE not wanting to put him in. That's you know, that's a whole nother thing.
It's almost like, you know, it should be a wake up call for Vince to say our legends are towards the end of their life.
Yep.
We should do everything we can to, at the very minimum, make amends and start inducting people into this.
Linda looks
Right.
mad at Nick. Nick is going to be sleeping on the couch he's recording on tonight.
We're good.
No, Tom, I completely agree. And, you know, and for all we know, maybe it's not WWE. Maybe it's the Legends families that, you know, like we mentioned.
They had plenty of chance to put Vader in when he was alive.
Yeah.
Yep. But like, obviously, like we mentioned with the whole Owen Hart thing, you know, they want to put him in, but you know, it's his wife, Martha, that doesn't want WWE to profit in any way. And I completely understand. She's completely justified in that. But just it's one of those things. I look at the Hall of Fame. I was lucky enough to go to the Hall of Fame induction in 2013. And it is a really neat experience because it's something that I've never experienced in my life in the world of wrestling, because it's such a different atmosphere. Like Michael Cole came on stage beforehand and was like, listen, guys, before we go live, let's be real here. This is a celebration of these superstars in their careers. This is not a night for anyone to, you know, act inappropriate. No cat, like, and they're like, this won't be tolerated. This won't be like catcalling, all that stuff. And I'm like, good. Like, this is like kayfabe. It's a Hall of Fame, but like, it's still an accomplishment to be recognized in that light at the same time. You know,
a lot of
it's like winning a Herald Award
on the Hall of Fame because it's like, it's fake. It's nothing. It's, you know, whatever. I've always liked watching the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Because it's cool to see the wrestlers that we grew up with.
Yep.
Talking.
Yep.
Just being like people.
Like, it's like, oh shit, like you're more than Harold. Like,
you're Gerald too.
You're also Gerald. No, like you're more than this character.
Yep.
And growing up, that wasn't a thought.
Yep.
Like Scott Hall was Razor Ramon. And I remember when Scott Hall became Scott Hall and like the accent was gone.
Yep.
And I'm like, wait, what? He doesn't have a thick accent?
He moved to Atlanta and it changed.
Right. So, like, he got Southern. He got straightened out real quick.
Yeah, I love those Hall of Fame ceremonies because it gives just a touch of reality to it.
Wait, what's that? Oh yes, Hillbilly Jim is still giving his Hall ofAme induction speech. Just wanted to confirm that it's still going. The building's empty. He's giving this speech to nobody, but he refuses to finish.
He's not even at the building anymore. He's just driving around, still talking.
I'd like to thank
Honey, I
Mr.
gotta
T
go to
still
Publix
thanking his
to get
mama.
me a cake.
Listen, I use Mr. T's Hall of Fame speech on Mother's Day every year. I post it every year on Mother's Day. So, but yeah, I really do hope that this sheds a light on Hall of Fame people, so that we can not only give these men and women their due, but give it to them while they're alive, so they can, you know, rightfully accept it. Because I'm sure as good of a speech as Vader's family will present at the Hall of Fame ceremony this year, I sure as hell loved listening to Vader when he inducted Stan Hansen a few years ago. You know, but. So does anybody have any stupid stories they'd like to share about how Scott Hall affected their lives?
I mean, in middle school, all you did was walk around with toothpicks and throw them at people.
Yeah.
I still do
I
that.
say, I'm pretty sure there was a time in my life where I walked around with a toothpick in my mouth.
That's why.
Absolutely.
So I have a funny story. I teased this to these guys before we started recording. So back in, I want to say it was like 2009, because I was one of my friends that could drink. So I had an older friend named Mike DeMello. I wonder if he's watching this somehow. It'd be crazy if he is. Mikey, that's exactly what we called him too.
I know Mike DeMello.
No, do you really?
From White Plains, right?
Holy shit! It might be. We'll talk afterward.
I only know that because I know that you're from White Plains, dude.
I'm not from White Plains, but he's been in that area. But regardless of that, wow, you just like really tripped me for a second. So me and Mike DeMello, like one day, so there's a pizza place by me. Like we would go to this pizza spot that's like open till 2 a.m. I'm convinced it's a front for the mafia. Please don't shoot me. But like, so he would like pull up to my house at like 11 o'clock at night. And he's like, one night is just blasting the NWO theme song in his car outside of my house. He calls me and I can hear it from my room. And he's like, yo, man, come outside and say hello to the bad guy. I'm like, what the hell? And then like I come outside, all of a sudden changes the music to Razor Ramon. And so I just go down my driveway. And the thing is this, so we became obsessed with the NWO theme song for quite a while. And so eventually we went to AC Moore, I think it was, and got bandanas because we just wanted to be so cool. And we got a black one and a white one and wore it pretty much. So imagine my fat white ass walking around town like that.
Going like this.
Exactly.
You know. When you're NWO for life. So Dave.
I'm still in, man. I'm still in. But yeah, like I can't believe we went to
also Dave, you stole those bandanas. No one paid for shit from AC Moore. I worked for
No. We paid our $1.29. Thank you. I'm not a real bad guy. I just play one on YouTube. It's the big man and Gerald, the medium man. And my surprise buddy at WrestleMania.
That's a bit and a half, dude. We got to do Gerald and Dave at the cafe.
With bandanas on.
Yes, you know you make me pay. I don't pay.
Flips over.
You know who I am. Gerald just flips the table.
Just puts like gold on the table. This is all I need. I have bottle caps.
I use my Gerald gold.
Sir, this isn't real money. This is paper that you just printed. We have a fax for Mr. Z Puppet. It's Poopet.
It's Poopet, you idiot.
Think somebody faxed you a fake dollar bill?
Did y'all ever want to have the hair that Razor Ramon had?
Yes.
That just greasy
100%.
Jerry.
Because I used to have a bowl cut in the 90s. And so like I would like when I'd get out of the shower, I'd take that one strand and I'd just like pull it down like this a bit. I thought I was cool. And now I look at this right now and I'm like, all those kids that made fun of me and threatened to beat me up as a kid, I deserved it. I completely deserved it. Like I'm a weird kid, but
You deserved it.
Ryan, did you ever have hair?
What's that?
Did you ever have hair?
for a brief time. My mom said I look like I did as a baby. She's like, I have my baby back. She doesn't want me. Not that I could grow hair, but I'm back.
I'm just trying
I'm
to
the
picture
bald guy.
young.
Is your mom
Ryan.
R-Truth? I got my baby back.
Yeah.
What kind of haircut did you use to rock, Ryan?
Ooh, we'll have to post some.
Patreon exclusive.
Yes.
I want some pictures of young Ryan. I'll find some young Tom Savage.
Young Rock. Who needs Young Rock? We want Young Ryan.
Right?
I think I over a hairsprayed and groomed it. I was very in junior high, I had a little bottle of hairspray in my backpack, and I go and tighten it up. So I think I just over combed it and it fell out.
You want to talk about bad high school haircuts? I had like total like heavy metal kid beeswax spikes with the ball necklace.
You want to talk about bad hair? And I have a quote from my uncle that will always live in my heart. So like obviously everyone like grew their hair out or whatnot, like in high school and not my age. And so like I eventually like just buzzed it all off. Like I just like went to the barber, said, let's go, put the blade down and whatnot. And so I grew it out and it wound up just kind of like becoming like a spiky afro in a way. Like it wasn't an afro, but it was like just spiked out. And I remember I had that haircut for the prom. And so I remember I showed my uncle my prom photo and he goes, "You look like you pissed on an electric fence." And I will never forget that as long as I live.
Was it like Encino Man or something? Like, is that kind of?
No, it was like, it was nice, like a nice, but like, it was like a nice spiked hair, you know, it wasn't anything outrageous, or it was 2006, you know, like imagine like sort of what Zack Ryder kind of had in a way, sort of.
There we go.
You know, I took care and spiked my hair.
I'm still here. I thought my high school yearbook was down here. I've got one more place to check.
Okay, that's fine.
I was wondering where it went. No, I was say, speaking of Zach's, what's his name? Zach Gallen's a DDP instructor.
Oh, is
I
it?
think it's helped his, like he got certified, like his quality of life with this disability.
Listen, I just started back Monday. And like you do the first exercise, I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but like, so the first exercise you do, no matter what, if you're doing beginner, intermediate, or advanced, I'm doing the intermediate. The first workout you do in the program is the Diamond Dozen. And so it kind of just instructs you on the moves that you have to do, whatnot. And then there's other programs that you do with it. The Diamond Cutter is a move. So it's like literally no. So you do, so you bring your hands down, you make the diamond like down around you, but so his key thing is dynamic resistance. So like, you're supposed to like be flexing your muscles the entire time. So like, if I'm doing this, you should be able to like pull my hands apart. Like you should be like, so this way you're engaging all your muscles and whatnot. But so one of those, like take it into Diamond Cutter. So you push your hands together, you bring it up, and then you bring your arms out to a T and you Hulk it up. And that's one of the moves. Love it.
I want to try seeing DDP stand on one leg and grab the other toe.
I want it. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's my goal.
Crazy.
Let's see it, Tom. What do you got? Oh my.
That was how I got my hair curled. There was so much gel in that hair in middle school that it was like up. Because I have some curls, but like it was just up but greasy. And I'm like, because middle school is when I was really into wrestling.
Yeah.
And I would just have that greasy ass hair. I can't find my high school. There's a really good picture of me in a children's size 12 Flash costume. And you can
that now goes to Harold.
Outline of my genitals in my high school yearbook.
Ew.
Yikes.
Right.
Well, no, I remember. So when the whole lockdown thing happened 2 years ago, and like obviously like all these high school events were getting canceled. I know we're like completely off topic, but we go to Scott Hall's hair. Now we're talking about my yearbooks. Like everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna post my senior picture in honor of the class 2020, and I was like, you know what? I'll post mine, but I want something in return. So I was like, if my YouTube channel hits 100 subscribers, I'll release my senior photo is a doozy. But yeah, it's bad. It's
I got
really
senior
bad.
photos. We can all do senior photos. I got one somewhere.
If we hit
Nope.
1,000 subscribers, we'll release them. I'll mail a copy to everyone.
I worked a concert the night before our senior photos were taken, because like we couldn't go and do them. We have to go to the school. They put the fake half suit on us.
Yep.
I
Well, I wore a real suit, man.
Yo, I was so hungover. And the photographer's like, all right, Tom, like, you're going to tilt your head this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then tilt it, and then smile. And I'm like, I don't smile. It's like, smile. So I'm just like, you would have no idea this was me.
You wouldn't have any idea it's me either, I don't think, because
No
mine
way.
looks so bad. I look like I got into a hockey fight. My braces are all fucking weird. Sorry, Owen. Yeah, it's bad. But the thing about my senior photos is they took them in like May of your junior year. I'm like, why? I could look a lot different in 3 months when we come back. Like, why are we doing this?
I was going to say yearbook photos. I was in yearbook. All my friends graduated. So I was like, I have no friends. I need to find something to do. So I joined yearbook. Honestly, I'm like, well, during lunch, I won't be a loner. I'll do yearbooky stuff. But anyway, so I did that 2 years, and senior year, I believe it was, they did an extreme sports page, like BMX riding, motorcycles, this and that. I was like, hey, I backyard wrestle. So there's a picture of me jumping off a ladder, about to do a leg drop, and my sister, 5 years, my junior, my little training buddy, like moving out in the photo. I'll find that. That's my claim to fame. And then they even gave end of year awards. I got like most likely to become a pro wrestler. The only one in the class who wanted to do it, but I still have it. Didn't happen yet. Until I meet Dave.
Speaking of backyard wrestling and being bald, should we talk about this?
There we go.
Oh,
nice.
the All-Star edition. On a brighter note, as we move on from Scott Hall for a little while, the Pro Wrestling Tees, home of the ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingNerd broadcast merch. They have announced they're releasing a pre-order that's going on right now. Well, it's over by the time you watch this, for Nick freaking Gage. It is of him portrayed as in the Chicago Bulls jersey. It says MDK 23 on it, but it is bloody version of him, and it is where was the Tournament of Death, I believe, in Delaware. Oh, we have officially lost Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Nick is gone. Long live the royal family. But yeah, so Nick Gage, it's the outfit he was in the Tournament of Death. I think it took place in Delaware at a CZW show. And Nick Gage almost died in that gear. He had suffered a laceration, I want to say under his arm or something like that, like under his armpit area. But yeah, and bled and was bleeding bad. I think they said he died on the helicopter ride over to the hospital. For how long ride?
Internet says 7 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody said 7 hours. It was like, I don't think you come back from
7 months.
That was PCO.
No, that was his career for a while. And then Matt Cardona revived it for him.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm stoked on the brawler, man.
I'll say this. I passed on it because I'm not a big Nick Gage guy, but it's a great looking brawler, and I think it will rival the Terry Funk.
They've done blood well.
They do blood very well.
I'm interested to see it.
I think Terry Funk would still stay higher in my all-time rankings.
Of course.
Just because of the eyes of Terry Funk. He looks like, whereas Nick Gage just looks like, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So.
Is that why Nick left? Because I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, he
doesn't want to talk about. He doesn't want to talk about bloody Terry Funk, but it's okay, buddy.
That was a tough time rating that with him.
But yeah, no, it is. So what? So
you think we're getting a new man scout? Because they're doing the All-Stars now, apparently.
I would be all for a Jake Manning, friend of the broadcast, Jake Manning.
We gotta have him back on to meet the puppet.
Yes, we do. I would love to have him on.
Especially because he works for AEW now. He'll get Harold and your Gerald and MJF to be friends.
Gerald is all elite. Well, I mean, now that Wardlow's not working for MJF, he needs a heavy. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. So I'm assuming Ryan, you bought the Nick Gage.
Not yet.
No, he's still got a couple days.
Yeah, I liked buying the last day, so I have that intense rush of almost forgetting, and I don't know why.
What's gonna happen the day you forget to buy one?
It's almost happened.
Ryan quits the show.
A few times they've extended, right? I mean, they say it ends at a certain time and it goes a little longer. I think I got lucky once.
Well, it depends. Is it Chicago time or Miami time? So, that's the big thing about finding it out.
I also think that our Patreon group chat is very diligent in reminding Ryan, because the day of the sale ends, I think there's like 20 or 30 messages directly to Ryan. Ryan, don't forget to order your brawler. Today's the last day. You've got 4 hours. Ryan, 28 minutes. Get your brawler.
That's true. We help each other out a lot.
Ryan, it's 11:59, a Gunkwit Main time. You've got to buy your brawlers now. But yeah, no, I
Boise,
think
Idaho time. Get to it.
BI. It's Dougie's out there in Iowa right now. He's like, oh my gosh, it's almost time.
Yo, Miami time. That came from that dude who posted in the VIP group, right?
I believe that's Salvador.
Yeah. I like that we're stealing that, because I think that's
I think
brilliant.
the king is re-entering. The wannabe king is re-entering.
I bet you Owen's gone.
What's that, Ryan?
No, yeah, you said the king is entering.
The wannabe king.
Hey.
And he's back.
He just called you the king, Nick. He said the king is entering.
The wannabe. I think Nick's on his phone.
Sorry, guys. I am on my phone. I had some technical difficulties here.
Oh boy. It's best you've looked though. Say that.
Gerald came in and just knocked my laptop on the floor. Broke the charger cord. It was awful.
Just cut it. Just snip.
I almost got him, but he got away.
He's right here.
Oh, he's fast.
He's literally sitting across the room staring at me. It's
hasn't
moderately terrifying.
Yes. Come play with me. Come put your hand.
Tom, you come
Put
here,
your hand in me, Tom.
Tom, you bring me escargot. And then you escargot away.
Oh man! Speaking of Gerald, shout out to DGJ for getting his order in of buying some nerd merch. You too can buy nerd merch, ProWrestlingTees.com/the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. You've got hats, shirts, hoodies, beanies, snapbacks, stretch fit. We got the nerd of the shirts. We got the hoodies. We got the zip ups. My advice is this: if you're buying a hoodie or a zip up from Pro Wrestling Tees, I am an extra large. This is a 2X, and it's perfectly snug on me.
Hoodies run snug.
Yes, the hoodies run snug. The zip ups run big. I got a 2X thinking, okay, this is snug on me as a 2X. I'm assuming the zip up's gonna be the same thing. The zip up it's big and it's extremely soft, and I'm mad I can't wear it right now. That would have just looked like a freaking hefty bag just sitting here like, hey. But yes, and the beanie that Ryan's wearing, super soft, very great stitching. The Freddy. Ryan looks like he was in the Razor Ramon Miami vignettes. Ridgefield's Most Wanted. But so speaking of Razor Ramon, I guess that will lead us to our top 3 Tuesday. And we are going to continue our celebration of Scott Hall by just choosing our 3 favorite Scott Hall moments. So I'm gonna do this. Ryan, you can either go first or you can go last, because I know how much Scott Hall meant to you.
Oh, I will go first.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make it personal, just because they're special moments, and to not steal your guys' moments. First one, I mean, I gotta go when he walked in on, maybe it wasn't Nitro, I forget it, when he walked in the WCW in the denim.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
sir.
know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
I'm here, man.
I was actually trying to look up the date on that because I think that may have happened on my birthday.
Really?
I'm not 100% sure.
Greg or Aaron would know if you told him. But yeah, it's crazy that, I mean, even that iconic look too. I hope they make a figure. I'm gonna try and customize one. But I don't know if you guys know or recall at the AEW press conference before they announced Double or Nothing, Chuck Taylor and Trent came out wearing that. They came out wearing the denim vest and the denim pants. I was like, oh, that's
Love
so
it.
cool. Yeah, I love that. And again, just keep personal stuff and tie things in. When I got to see him sign this for me, not in person, but like it was my goal to get my three top guys, Bret Hart, Diesel, and Razor the sign. So I'm very thankful that I got to watch him on video sign it. That was awesome. And then the third, again, I hate to be like Shawn Michaels. My boyhood dream, or my man-child dream, as it were, was to meet my top three guys. I talked to Brett virtually. The petition that you're gonna sign. That started afterwards. But anyway, so I met him virtually. That's enough for now. I've met Kevin Nash. He was awesome. I got to meet Scott September last year, right after my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was cool. I mean, he talked to me. He let my wife in the picture. He was funny. He knew probably most girlfriends' wives don't want to be there. He's like, you got to buy mama a good dinner tonight, for putting up with you being here. That was cool. And then after, I forgot, actually, because it was a quick process. I got three things signed by each, and I forgot to get one thing signed. So I came back and I was like, oh, hey, sorry, forgot. And so he signed it. And then like I threw up the too sweet at him and left. I don't know. It's awesome I got to do that.
That is really awesome.
That's it.
Nick, how about you before Gerald cut your Wi-Fi again?
All right. Well, mine are like a lot less personal. Mine are just like I said at the beginning, I went down a Scott Hall rabbit hole last night on YouTube. And there's just a couple things that just popped me along the way. The first one I'm going to go with is when Kevin Nash beat Goldberg and Scott Hall came in with the security and stuff and hit him with the stun gun.
So mad at that.
I was just like, oh. And
It's got one.
I don't know. There's just a bunch of good ones. Like I said, I guess I got to go with what we were talking about earlier, the ladder match at WrestleMania 10, just because it was such a big deal to me. And then let's see, for the last one, I'm gonna go. I mean, it's in. I don't know if it's in bad taste because of it, but in his, there was a thing I seen on YouTube last night. It was a match on Nitro where I don't know if he was really drunk or pretending to be drunk, but it was like against Lex Luger, and then like Eric Bischoff and all the NWO come out, and then he starts like puking at the ring.
Yeah, I believe that was I believe that was fake.
Yeah,
I believe it was fake because everyone's like, dude, that's really in bad taste.
Or like
everyone's hoping it was real because if it's fake, it's
pay-per-view. He came out with like it was like the drink, and it was like the double, like it was like either the War Games or the World War III, where there was like multiple rings, and he would go into one ring, and then the guy would like walk to fight him in that ring, and then he would go walk over to the other ring and like take a sip of his drink and wait for him, and they did that for like 5 minutes. I don't know, for some reason it just popped. I mean, I know like in hindsight it's kind of messed up because he had like real serious substance abuse issues.
Yeah,
but I just thought that it was pretty funny.
That's like some early, like, I mean, Orange Cassidy, how he rolls away from someone. Like Scott did it first. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So is that 3? I lost count.
Yeah, that's 3.
Tom, how about you?
Yeah. So at my 10th birthday, he showed up to the ice skating rink and just ice skated all day with us. We held hands. We threw toothpicks at the bull. No, I'm just playing. I never met him. No, like WrestleMania 10 will be a big one for me for a number of reasons. My dad brought us, and that was really cool. Really cool that like my dad was able to make that happen. And that, you get to see one of the most famous wrestling matches in history live. Whether 6 or whatever, I don't know. what year was that? It was 94.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 6 years old ish.
Yeah.
Maybe just turned 6, just turned 7. I don't know. So that was a big one for me. I can't stress enough. Anytime I go on YouTube and watch old Razor Ramon skits, like wrestling does not do skits like they used to. And I think that it's time to really take a good hard look at like the backstage skits and how we do that and make it more like that. Like the Coliseum video where it's like in the Wild West and there's like shootouts and stuff in between and stuntmen and I love that shit. But like, yeah, Scott Hall, like Razor Ramon's old skits were always top moments for me. Another one, it really like not a moment, but a thing. Razor Ramon's gear, the colors. You got that teal, that purple, that red, like the colors were just like, I remember thinking if I ever wrestle as a child, I want
he's got tickets
like that. Well, those tickets. And then also thinking that was totally cheddar cheese. Like I totally thought those were blocks of cheddar.
I can't tell if you're making fun of me or not.
No. Like, well, yes, always, but like dead serious. I thought like you thought those were ticket stubs. I thought that shit was cheese.
I'm glad
I was a dumb kid.
Well,
this
I'm
was
not
up until like maybe
one.
6 months ago.
I thought he was Zorro.
You thought he was Zorro?
The knockoff one. He has a Z.
That's
whoa!
I like that the vest. I just realized that the vest is painted over the nipples.
I love it.
Oh, is that the thumb and the bum, Scott Hall?
The thumb and the bum bootleg Scott Hall.
Just realized
those are thumb wrestlers. Whoa! There goes the resale value. You saw it here first. Tom opened it.
Got
Going
the
in my
thumb
mouth.
all up in there.
Whoa! You are violating Scott Hall right now, ladies.
Incredible.
Yep, that little bit of drip.
No cheese.
You know what though? I always thought Funko Pop probably doesn't put that much detail on the back because they know a lot of people don't open stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he's also like one of the Funko Pops. Like, yep, I know who that is.
Yep, really is.
So this is my first Funko Pop. I've never opened one. This is the first one I've opened.
Wow. Now put it back in the box so you can resell it.
I'm gonna sign it and then resell it.
Rick Bogner. So is that 3, Tom?
Sure.
Okay. So for me, my top 3, one of them is going to be the Wrestle Rock Rumble. If you've never heard of it, search it on YouTube. It was like a music video that like the AWA was putting on this show. And like they did this music video with all these wrestlers, like the Rockers are in it, Scott Hall's in it with Kurt Hennig, like a bunch of wrestlers are in it. Like think of the Super Bowl Shuffle that the Bears did back in the 80s. It's pretty much that, but it's all these wrestlers just hyping up this pay-per-view. And so it's Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig's time to sing, and they are walking out of a pool perfectly in sync, and they're like, I'm Kurt Hennig and I'm Big Scott Hall, and we're gonna beat all of y'all or something like that. But it's just so perfect. Their step, they're just handsome, man. That mustache, making me drip. So then just again, it's not a specific moment, but it's like just Scott Hall mannerisms. Obviously, there's the walk, the spooky fingers, and then of course, literally. Anybody who's ever been like tried to be intimidated or whatnot, everybody is going, ooh, like everybody has done that. And I credit Scott Hall with making that mainstream.
100%.
But the thing that sticks out to me is the survey that he always did. Cause that's like how I realized, like, why is everyone cheering for them? Isn't he supposed to be a bad guy? Oh, I guess he's not. Everyone's cheering for him. He's like, did everybody come here to see the WCW? Or did you all come to see the NWO? Score 1 for the bad guys. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I should start doing that. So when we have Gerald on here, I'm going to be like, did you all come to see Jared, Nick, Ryan, and Tom and Harold? Or did you come to see the royal mother loving family?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Anybody?
Nobody can-
Because when you're in the royal family, you're in the royal family till you lose the crown.
Great.
Which will be certain.
And then just my third one is just I'm gonna take it from Ryan that moment where he jumped the guardrail in WCW, because to me a lot of people, and I put this in the post that I wrote about him, that a lot of people, when you think of influential people in wrestling, you think of Hulk Hogan, you think of Ric Flair, you think of Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, maybe even John Cena. But Scott Hall, I don't think will ever get the amount of credit that he is owed by how influential, not just in a storyline perspective, it was that a WWE guy, a big name like that, went to WCW, but the fact that like he got one of the first guaranteed money contracts before Scott Hall going to WCW. Was like, if you don't wrestle, you don't get paid. And so like Scott Hall helped change the game for wrestling as a whole, from backstage to in front of the curtain and beyond. And so that's my third moment right there.
We can all agree, best wrestler that never hold a world title.
Yeah. Well,
he's top. I would say this without even thinking about it. He'd be top 5. Because you say that, and I automatically think Roddy Piper and Mr. Perfect. Potentially. So I'd put them up there. Scott Hall.
Coco Beware.
Mark Jindrak.
Shane McMahon.
Dan
Rico. Charlie Haas. Draws, sweet guy, man. Love Draws. But yeah, so of course, let us know your Scott Hall moments in the comments below. Shout out to Jonathan Hodat, by the way. Lost a member of his family. So Jonathan, our prayers, thoughts are with you, my man. But you still have to let us know your favorite Scott Hall moments. No excuses.
We're nothing without you, Hodat.
Yes, we're nothing. Jonathan, we have no comments without you, Jonathan. We can't. But yeah, so let us know your Scott Hall memories and moments in the comment section below. Of course, don't forget to check out ProWrestlingTees.com/The Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. Don't forget patreon.com/WNRDB. Facebook and Twitter at WNRDB. Wow.
Whatnot coming soon.
Yeah, Whatnot is coming soon. Major thanks. Wow, Ryan, real cool. But yes, we've got a Whatnot coming soon Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, Pro Wrestling Tees, Instagram, The Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. Of course, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. If we get 1,000 subscribers before WrestleMania, I will vacate the crown, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it here. I will vacate the crown if we get 1,000 subscribers by WrestleMania.
1,500, you get my name tattooed on your throat.
No.
Start making them burner accounts now, everybody.
Doesn't count. No, we need them to be active accounts, Chief, because we need the hours to keep watching up. So yes, of course, all that good stuff there. And so to quote, I will leave us here on this famous quote by Scott Hall. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. On behalf of myself, the voice and king of the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast, Dave Canning, the founding father, Nick Carpenter, the micro brawler scholar, Mr. Ryan Crossley, and the handler of our commissioner and my best friend, Harold and Gerald, Mr. Tom Sasso. Rest easy, Big Scott Hall. And until next time, don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day, because like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone. God bless America.